start by introducing Bill Douglas, the father of World Tai Chi Day and the brainchild of the Global Transformation Project. And he's going to start with a few comments, and then Siobhan is going to make a few comments, and I'm going to make a few comments. Then we're going to have the people who have been asked to be invited to speak, starting with Muhammad Essa, and then as other people will show up. So Bill, you want to take it away?
Yeah. Well, I just want to first start by thanking CJ, Dr. Rhodes, and Siobhan Hutchinson for making this monthly Global Transformation Project discussion series a reality. And it's been a real exciting journey. And I wanted to open this up today, just by saying hi to everybody and thanking everybody for being here. I've been really looking forward to this because I was just explaining yesterday when I was doing a business program about how World Tai Chi Day evolved. And I was explaining to him that, even though we put a lot of hard work into the website and collecting the medical research and providing the media resources and stuff, none of this would have been anything if everybody out there, if these visionaries like you guys hadn't been all over the planet that just knew that it was time for people to learn about the science and the health benefits and the practices of Tai Chi and Qigong and mind body on a much larger scale. And so, everybody just took off and did these amazing events. And we're going to open today with Muhammad Essa from Egypt in a few moments. And what he's done in Egypt has just been extraordinary, national and international media coverage. And I mean, it's really been amazing. So Muhammad will be showing us a video of their organizing in Egypt in a few moments when I introduce him. And but I just wanted to just thank everybody out there for being a part of this and making this a reality every year of just a global wave of chi that goes around the planet. And it's just been such an adventure, getting to know people from all over the planet, from all these different countries, and realizing that we all have this real commonality. When we practice Tai Chi and Qigong, we all have that same look on our faces. We all know what that feels like. And it's been really extraordinary. And then a lot of you know that if, a couple of years ago, we found out from a Princeton University research project that they had observed their data during the 24-hour period of World Tai Chi Day, and we had actually measurably increased coherence in global consciousness. And that has all kinds of really beautiful ramifications, because there's a lot of research that shows if you have a certain number of people going into those higher consciousness state, the alpha wave state, that Tai Chi and Qigong and mind-body practices promote, that it can actually lower the crime rates for the whole society. The science on all this is just really extraordinary and mind-bending. And so one of the things that we wanted to do today as well is also have, in honor and memoriam of two people that just passed recently. One is Dr. Herbert Benson of Harvard. He's the author of The Relaxation Response, which was the first collection of the science on mind-body practices. And when Dr. Benson talked about mind-body, he talked about Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. They have mountains of science behind them. And he really spread these practices around the planet by turning it into science instead of a philosophy. And what his meta-analysis determined was that somewhere between 60 and 90% of the health issues that were sending people to the doctors were caused by stress and best treated by those 5 mind-body practices. Now, Dr. Effie Chow, she was on President Clinton's Complementary and Alternative Medicine Council. And so she played a huge role in spreading awareness of the science on Tai Chi and Qigong and mind-body practices. And then she eventually founded the World Congress on Qigong, which brought together scientists and Tai Chi and Qigong and mind-body experts from all over the planet, and really spread this stuff around the planet. And in a way, the World Congress on Qigong and World Tai Chi Day started around the same time. And so her work with World Congress on Qigong really helped us get the word out about World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. So Dr. Chow and Dr. Benson, they really paved the way for where we're headed with the Global Transformation Project, which is getting mind-body practices, these science-based mind-body practices, into as many public education institutions around the planet as we can through United Nations resolution. And you can go to globaltransformationproject.org and read the science on that. And we have a globaltransformationproject.org link at worldtaichiday.org as well. And so in a few moments after Mohammed does his presentation, Sharon Rose, who's an acclaimed video and filmmaker, and also a Qigong documentarian who's working on a brilliant project right now. She has a tribute video for Dr. Effie Chow. But I just wanted to say again about Dr. Herbert Benson. He was a pivotal part of the way that we've been really devoted to getting the science of Tai Chi and Qigong out to as many practitioners and teachers around the planet as possible, and then teaching all the organizers how to get media attention so that we can get it out to the mass public. And so Dr. Benson played a huge role in my personal evolution with this, to see how profound the science was and how the society could save trillions of dollars year after year after year on saved health costs if we spread these mind-body practices more rapidly around the planet. And public education is definitely a way that we can do it faster than any other way that I could think of. So anyway, let me at this point turn it over to Mohammed Essa. And
actually, Bill, before Mohammed, Siobhan is going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to have Mohammed. So
okay.
Siobhan,
yeah, let me turn it over. Let me turn, I guess Siobhan first. Let me turn it over to Siobhan Hutchinson. And again, as I always say, Siobhan's one of those people that just inspires me on a regular basis, and she really contributes to the greater good. And so I'm really happy to be here with you, Siobhan. So take it away.
You are too kind, Bill. Thank you. Bill, the lighting coming from behind you, you might want to pull down the shade while I'm talking.
Okay.
Because you're a little blurred there.
Yeah, I'm pretty limited here, but go
okay.
ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Siobhan, and I remember years ago, decades ago, hearing about World Tai Chi and Qigong Day and being so excited to do an event myself. So for a number of years, I hosted a local program, and I'm hoping today, if we have time, if any of you would like to have some ideas about how to host an event. It's very easy to do. I found a lot of my students and friends and people who have never done the practice before. It's a great opportunity to experience the different forms, as well as to educate people about the history of Tai Chi and Qigong and the health benefits. So Angela and Bill created World Tai Chi and Qigong Day over 20 years ago, and it became a worldwide event. There's over 80 nations now that do the event, and it's always the last Saturday in April. So we owe a big thank you to Bill and Angela Douglas for hosting, for starting, creating this, as well as for their over 600-page book called The Gospel of Science, which has numerous research studies. I mean, over 600 pages. Every page, documents all the health benefits that these practices provide. So they're very self-empowering for you, and also for everyone else. And Bill, I just want to show you my very, I don't know if you can see it, my old copy, I guess not, of the relaxations response by Herbert Benson, which I purchased in my 20s, this paperback, and it was very exciting back then. So I hope I can talk a little bit about his research later in the program. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to CJ.
Hi, everyone. I'm CJ Rhodes, and I am very, very pleased to be here. Bill, I've known Bill since the early days, because I was one of the first, like Siobhan, I was one of the first World Tai Chi Day organizers and went to his website and was shocked when I called him and he actually answered the phone. And so what he has done for the world of Tai Chi is just unbelievable. It's one of those things that you just can't believe somebody would be that selfless and that hardworking. And he's absolutely done it. Since then, of course, I've been doing Tai Chi for about 30 years. And what I'd like to do is talk just a little bit more about the Global Transformation Project and the underlying science that it requires. Now, I know Bill has the book, which is chock full of that stuff, but I personally have done a research project where I took all of my students. I teach technology courses at Kutztown University, and I took all my students for a couple of years. I took all of my students and I split them into 3 groups. And one group, 15 minutes before every test, I would allow them to study. Another group, 15 minutes before each test, I had them do exercises. They ran up and down the stairs and did jumping jacks. And then a third group, I had to do Qigong meditation for 15 minutes before each test. So we did this semester after semester after semester. I controlled for how smart the kids were, you know, whether they were A students, B students, whatever, for their initial experience and all that. So there was a lot of controls involved that pretty much enabled me to find out whether or not it was just the group, because it was a random group. I randomized them into these 3 groups, and wouldn't you know it, the group that did the Qigong meditation before each test, the whole group, all of the students did better in all of the tests than the other groups. The group that exercised did the worst. And we hypothesized it's because when they exercise, they increase their adrenaline and the cortisol, which are the chemicals in your brain that kind of shut down your brain and enable you to run real fast. But that doesn't help you when you're trying to take a test. Whereas the group that did the Qigong, they dampen down any adrenaline or cortisol that might be caused by their anxiety from the test. Instead, they enabled their bodies to be filled with serotonin and dopamine and GABA and endorphins, the feel-good chemicals, the stress-reducing chemicals that enable them to think more clearly, and that's why they did better on the tests. So since then, and that was many years ago, it was maybe 10 years ago, since then, I've had every one of my groups, every one of my students, before a test, I make them do Qigong meditation. Now, I can't make them do 15 minutes of it. We only do 3 minutes of it. But nonetheless, it's a real life example of how the power of mind-body activities like Qigong meditation can really enable whole categories of people to do better in their lives. And so the petition that the Global Transformation Project is all about, which is to enable the United Nations to actually and encourage all countries to make mind-body activities part of daily education for students. That is really where what we should be doing and where we should be going. And so hopefully you've all signed the petition. I'm sure you all have already signed the petition. You undoubtedly have heard about it many times, but I just wanted to share some specific examples. I also wanted to let you know that we are now enabling people to to put their events on the website, on World Tai Chi Day website for World Tai Chi Day. Now, Bill's a little behind in adding groups. See, the way it works is if you've done it before and you remember your username and password, it's no problem. You'll be able to go in and add your new event. But new people have to be not only create their account, but then Bill has to put you into the group that would enable them to add an event. So first you have to create the account, then you have to email Bill and say, Bill, would you please put me in? And then Bill puts you in, and then you will be able to add your event. So when you click new event, then you'll be able to put it in. Another real sticking point, a lot of people get stuck on this, is there's a place where you have to put a description. And it says a short description, it says 255 characters. characters. People want to put in paragraphs of information there and they can't. They can only put a very short thing. And 255 characters includes spaces. So you can't just count the letters. You have to count the spaces in between the letters in order to get to 255. It's a very hard limitation. We are going to get rid of that limitation next year, I promise you. But at this point, we still do have that limitation. You may notice when you go in, there's a whole lot more capabilities than there was last year. You can go in and you can edit your event afterward now. You couldn't do that before. You can add pictures and things to the it doesn't show up on the event right now, but that would be for the future. You'd be able to show that sort of thing. So we can talk about all that stuff later, but I just wanted to make you all aware that this is all going on in the background and that Bill and I are working on it. If Bill puts you in and you still have problems and can't add the event, then you can contact me and I will investigate. Some people have added a new account and they forgot, they didn't remember their password and they added a new account. Well, that's a problem. You've got to remember your account, or you can contact me and I can let you know what your account is, or you can contact Bill because he can let you know what your old account is too. He has a list of all the World Tai Chi Day organizers on his list. Anyway, so that was it about World Tai Chi Day and my experiences with the specifics of enabling people to utilize mind-body exercises in order to do better. So now I have the pleasure of introducing Mohammed Essa, who is one of our top World Tai Chi Day World Tai Chi Day organizers. He's organized thousands and thousands of people in basically in a country where I don't know how much Tai Chi is going on other than the Tai Chi that he does. And so I am very, very pleased to introduce him. Take it away.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm really happy to join you today. This is Mohammed Essa from Egypt. Hello Bill and CJ and Shoban. I'm really happy to join you today and all the people who are joining from Egypt and all over the world. Hello from Egypt, from Cairo. I'm really happy. I remember the first time I did the World Tai Chi Day in Egypt. It was from 17 years ago. It's a long time. And already at that time, I contacted Bill, and we had a very strong friendship from that time, actually. And I did several events in Egypt. Actually, we do from 17 years or almost 16 years continuously till now the World Tai Chi Day. The last few years we started doing that online because of the Corona and all the changes that affected the world. But I think in 2024 we will back again to do it in the parks. And my message started actually from the parks as I started to do the first time in the Arabian countries the meditation in the parks, and Egypt was the spark of that. We started to meditate in the park, and actually it was really strange for the Arabian communities and for Egyptians especially also. I remember that the main news in Egypt, they came to the World Tai Chi Day the first time we organized that, and they make a video for us, and it came in the news, in the main news in Egypt, the Egyptian meditating in the parks. And that was in the first time we organized the World Meditation Day, actually, at that time. I'm really happy today to be with you and to share with you that how it started in the Arabian countries. I can say now it's from the Egypt, specifically from the Azhar Park. It started to all the neighbors and all the countries that around us, to the Arabian countries on the east and the west of Egypt. The idea started from the Azhar Park in Egypt, and it spread it all the other countries, because in Egypt, as you know, it's a kind of hub country for the other countries. The people, they used to come and join me in my trainings and in the World Tai Chi Qigong Day, and they go back to their countries with the ideas, with the inspirations to start their own World Tai Chi Qigong Day, or their meditation in the parks, and also in several cities in Egypt. Also, they started to copy the idea and do meditation in the parks. The Egyptians started to be interested about that because many, you know, as a capital of cities, the capital cities in the whole world, there is a lot of stress. The people did not know how to heal their emotions, how to deal with their emotions. When I first time started that, they found, okay, this is the way, and they started to join, and the idea started to spread. I can say now in Egypt, maybe we have more than maybe 30 or more than 40 groups. They meditate in the parks, and the start was the first time I started from 17 years ago, and all the countries around also, it's something normal now. And the people is used to that. There is yoga groups, Tai Chi groups, meditation groups, all the mindfulness and holistic activities. It started to be in the parks in Egypt. And I would like to share with you.
You had Sufi dancers too. You had Sufi dancers. Remember?
Sorry, can you?
It's still speaking.
Yeah, 1 year you had Sufi dancers, I remember.
Yeah. Yes, I have a Sufi dancers also. Okay, they need just 1 minute. Okay, I will speak 1 minute until they share it. Actually, I'm really happy to be here today. I remember that meditating in the parks, when it started from 17 years ago, it changed a lot of people's lives. Nowadays in Egypt, and it was a movement. It was not just meditating in the parks. It was a movement. It started from Egypt, and it went through all Egypt and all the Arabian countries. And it was also a clue in a way. Actually, I would use the word of the Tao, because the Tao is a way. It was a way to heal and to balance the emotion and the physical body, and to heal from chronic diseases also, and that's started actually from the parks. And I remember one of the events. Bill sent me the T-shirt of the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. Was a visitor from the U.S. that she came to Egypt, and she gave it to me at the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. Yeah, I still have this T-shirt from you, Bill, till now. I'm really thankful for that. It was really a very nice gift from you at that time.
Yeah, I remember when we got your Tai Chi videos from, you know, that one really big event that you did. That was so exciting. Yeah, we started showing those all over everywhere we could.
Yes, and I remember with you also when you sent me to translate One Breath, One World. Actually, I sent you the translation, and the translation had been made by me at that time, and it is the Arabic translation for the world, for that slogan, for the One Breath, One World. I'm really happy to actually to be one of the who participated in that project. Actually, I believed in it actually a lot. At that time.
Well, now the science shows that it's true.
Yes. yes, all right.
كزفير حاول انزل على ورق حاجه بسيطه خالص على قد ما اقدر. بلم دي كده بطلع بيها كده بعدين بنزل مفروده فارد كده الف للجنب.
الراجل اخذ مبارك
مبارك الله أرض كل كائنات الأرض بالحكمة بالإرادة على فعل الخير بالاستنارة.
أثبت إيدي على الأرض وابتدي أرجع برجلي لورا وانزل لتحت جسمي من فوق، اخد نفس لفوق وباصص لفوق، اخرج النفس واضغط بكعبي على الارض وظهري مفروض.
شهيق لفوق وقدام وزفير لتحت على قد ما نقدر، كل واحد على حسب ما يقدر.
الشخص اللي بيطبق القوانين بطريقة إيجابية بيوصل اللي هو عايزه، والشخص اللي بيطبق القوانين بطريقة سلبية بيوصل للي هو مش عايزه.
ركز على التنفس الطبيعي، التنفس العادي.
حاول ترخي جسمك على الاخر، هتلاقي جسمك نفسه بيهدى بشكل كبير جدا.
المرض بشكل كبير يمكن بنسبة 99% بيعكس الأفكار. فلو في حد عنده مشكلة معينة في عضو معين، ممكن ببساطة إنه يخف من هذا المرض بإذن الله طبعا، بس لو عدل الأفكار.
بعض الآلام اللي احنا بنحس بيها في أجسادنا، إن بعض المشاكل اللي بتحصل في حياتنا بتكون بسبب حاجات، منها إن احنا بنكره الشغل بتاعنا، أو إن احنا عندنا مشاكل مع أحد الأطراف في العلاقة الزوجية، أو احنا عندنا مشاكل مع هدف، احنا كان عندنا هدف بس احنا لسه محققنوش، فبالتالي الشيء ده بيأثر وبينعكس بشكل سلبي على حاجات تانية موجودة في حياتنا.
هناك فرق رهيب ما بين النظر والبصر.
That was beautiful.
Yes. Thank you everyone actually for watching this. I really I get inspired by watching it again actually. And thank you Bill, actually you started that all over the world, and thank for sharing that with the whole world. Actually, that event, it was around 12 hours event. It starts from 9 a.m. and it ends around 10 p.m. And we had in that event around 20 speakers. It was more than 20, it's around 24 sessions all over the day. There is the break between every session was around 5 minutes only. There is no long breaks, all continuous. And some of the teachers, they shared more than one session to complete the 12 hours event.
Wow.
It was on the
I am awed by the size of your event, the World Tai Chi Day event. You know, I started doing World Tai Chi Day events back in the year 2002 or 2001 or something, and I'm lucky if I get 50 people to any of my events. So I'm just always in awe of that. But thank you so much, Mohammed. That was absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, one thing I was going to add is, you know, Mohammed, you were one of the big influences on me that I think led to my participation in the Global Transformation Project, because it was right around that time that I saw your events included meditation, yoga, and I saw a Brazilian event, and they had chair massagers there, and they had yoga people there and meditation teachers there. And then Beva Abeya, who I think is going to be on later today in Australia, and she invited us over to Australia, and they did the same thing. They had meditation teachers and yoga teachers and Tai Chi and Qigong. And then it was at that same time that Dr. Herbert Benson at Harvard, who we're honoring today as well, he was saying, you know, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, and mindfulness. You know, those 5 practices.
Yeah.
And so all this was forming in our minds. And so you were a big part of where we got to with the Global Transformation Project.
Yes, exactly. Actually, I believed in that from a long time. The first time I started the World Tai Chi Qigong Day, I believe that I started to think in a holistic way, and I believe that all the science that can develop the human consciousness had to be included in that day. So I included Tai Chi and Qigong and also the Chinese embassy. I invited them, and the Indian embassy. I invited them, and the tourism ministry in Egypt. They hosted that event. And also the people coming from the NLP field and the coaching field, because I believe that we need to work on the mind and the body and the emotions and the movements in a holistic way, different dynamics and different angles and different perceptions. And also I was keen also to include the people from different communities, the Indian community and European community who live in Egypt. I involved them to let all the people in my country know what is going on in the country, who is doing a good work, and introduce them to the whole bunch of people who will join the event, the people who do, for example, the massage, the people who do the yoga, the people who do spiritual work, the people who do any kind of meditation, different kind of meditation in that day.
Well, I want to point out that you're pointing out two very, very important aspects that any World Tai Chi Day organizer should know. And that is, number one, the power of luminaries. What is a luminary? A luminary is someone who may not necessarily have anything to do with Tai Chi, but they are a local ambassador or a local politician, or, you invited a whole bunch of people who probably never did Tai Chi before, but they got introduced to it through this project, and they had influence with a whole lot of people. And I know that Bill, in his initial and still up on the website, is information about how you can get in the news and how you can invite luminaries and how you can get your city or your town to proclaim World Tai Chi Day or whatever. Those are all super important aspects of it. And the person that I know in my life who understood the power of luminaries more than anyone else was Dr. Effie Chow. And Effie, unfortunately, has passed away recently. But she was one of the most, she ran World Tai Chi Day for, 17 years or 22 years or however many years she did. What did I say? I'm sorry. Tip of the map. Wrong word I said. It's World Congress. The World Congress for Qigong, Tai Chi Qigong, natural healing or whatever. She ran that. And I'd like to introduce Sharon Rose. Sharon Rose is the one has recently done a wonderful documentary about Dr. Effie Chow, and so I'm going to play it, but so that it can be played from a local machine. But I do, Sharon, I want you to introduce it. So please tell us what we're about to see.
Well, I've known Effie for about 6-7 years. I met her working on Quantum Chi. And she has been such a mentor to me. We have such familiar visions about which you all have, about really bringing the world together. And her background, she loved the arts. So when she would do these big events, it wasn't just Qigong, Tai Chi, the dragon dance and all kinds of things, but she would also have musicians and dancers, and she was a dancer herself. I don't know if you all knew that. I've seen pictures of her dancing. What an extraordinary force of nature. And I'm in touch with the people who are going to be carrying on the World Congress, which will be wonderful for her. So I want to show you this. I put this together. I took some video of her. Oh, you have it, right? Yeah, I took some video
I'm gonna
from
go
the web,
ahead
interspersed with it's just a 5-minute little background piece about Effie.
Took our cameras to the East-West Academy of Healing Arts in San Francisco to meet Qigong Grandmaster Dr. Effie Chow. Dr. Chow has been referred to by Qigong masters from around the world as the mother of Qigong in the United States. She is co-author of the book Qigong, Medical Healing from China, and is highly regarded by her students.
Effie Chow is a master healer.
She's trying to not just help you, but make the world a better place.
She understands people, and she inspires people. A true master of Qigong.
In July 2000, President Clinton appointed Dr. Chow to the original 15-member White House Commission on Complementary and Alternative Medicine Policy. Recently, the American Association of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine honored her as one of the pioneers and leaders of Oriental medicine in the USA. We began with the basics and asked Dr. Chow to tell us what Qigong is.
Qigong is part of traditional Chinese medicine, and it formulates the basic principles of the function of traditional Chinese medicine. Qi means the energy or the vital life force, or the breath, as simply. And Gong means to work it, to cultivate, or to manifest that exceptional vital life force. This is our 4th World Congress, and it dates back to 1990 when we held our first one. And at that time, we combined with the traditional Chinese medicine as a whole, because very few people know about Qigong. And our desire to bring Qigong properly into the Western Hemisphere, into the science field, was kind of our motivation for holding these major conferences. And so it really coincides with the development in 1997 of the American Qigong Association and the World Qigong Federation as organizations to try and bring a community together instead of, having Qigong masters operate in isolation of one another.
Let me introduce you to the Congress visionary, right? This is Dame Dr. Effie Chow. She's in the house. She's the Qigong Grandmaster, and she's the founder of the East-West Academy of Healing Arts, and she's the World Congress founder. That was 1990. She's revered as the grandmother of Qigong, and Dr. Chow has pioneered in bringing complementary care to the West. So let's invite you in first, Dr. Chow, to talk about the inspiration behind this World Congress.
I've started in 1973, the East-West Academy of Healing Arts, a nonprofit 501c3 nonprofit, and it was dedicated to my father, who helped so many people come from China in those days, in 1930s, 40s, 50s. It was like, oh my God, he was battling society, always an activist. And so I guess I inherited all that from him. And I want to throw out 2 concepts that I've learned very well. We had many philosophies. He said, whatever you do, do your best. And then he said, live today as if to die tomorrow, and plan as if to live forever. We can influence the system, and which we have very much in the 20 years of the World Congress. It's not just practicing, but it's influencing policy and legislation to make the difference. So my dear heart and love to all of you and to all in the world, because we are connected. We are connected. We are all energy bodies. Not that we have energy, but we are energy.
Sharon, that was gorgeous. it's like every video you do is more beautiful than the last one, and the last one was incredible.
And I do have to also say, Sharon, everything I have ever seen you do has been absolutely fantastic, and that also was absolutely fantastic. So why don't can you just give us a short just to let everyone know how what's going to happen. I'm going to ask Sharon to talk a little bit about how she got into Qigong and what motivates her to do these wonderful videos and documentaries on Qigong, because she does quite a few of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to open up the chat so that everyone can chat, and we want everyone to go in and say where they're from and who they are and all that. We're going to open up the chat at that point while we're taking a short break. We're going to show a little bit of a kind of a commercial for the World Tai Chi Day and Global Transformation Project and health, prosperity, and leadership. And then we're going to come back and we're going to open it up to other people sharing some of their story or their information. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to be very orderly. So we're going to ask people to raise their hand, and then in the order that they raise their hand, I will be calling on them. But first, I want to hear a little bit more about Sharon. So Sharon,
Sharon, before you begin, I just wanted to make the point that, as you said at the end of the video, Dr. Effie Chow, she was one of the first notables to sign on to the Global Transformation Project. So she was a visionary from the very get-go, and she was always one of the first ones that ever did it. And so, we just see ourselves carrying on and walking on the stones that she laid, with Dr. Herbert Benson and people like this. And I wanted to mention to Mohammed as well, that what we're trying to do is to build an unprecedented coalition of mind-body practitioners, because Mohammed was talking about how they brought in yoga and meditation and everything. And so if everybody can join us in this, reach out to every mind-body practice people and organization that you can find and get them to go to globaltransformationproject.org so that we can build this unprecedented global coalition of the sisterhood of mind-body practices and carry on the work of these giants. And so anyway, go ahead, Sharon. I'm sorry. Just wanted to get that in.
Well, I have a very extensive background, which began in dance when I could walk. And I had a stage mother who that took me to ballet classes, singing classes, dancing classes, et cetera, and got me in college. I first encountered meditation and yoga. So that's in the 60s, actually, 60. I went to college in 66. So I first encountered these incredible mind-body practices at that point, and then had a number of fellowships from the US government to live in India with a Bollywood star who was Queen of North Indian dance, and trained in the ancient fashion, one-to-one, living with your Guruji. And I started actually working in the films, in video in 1978, filming dance performances and things like that. And then met my husband, Jay Widener, in 96, and we started our company Sacred Mysteries, where we were making films about healing and alchemy and ancient traditions, which is really my exploration. And Mohammed, Mohammed, I do want to tell you that I've been reconstructing the music, dance, and ritual from the hieroglyphs of Egypt. And what I found,
so nice.
It's such a wonderful movement style. I'm incorporating the Qigong, because it's in parallel position, into the dance of the Egyptians. So, and I'm also looking at, as I've done in many cultures, I'm a religious scholar, about what do we have in common. And that's part of the Global Transformation Project. All these amazing traditions from all over the world. And there's so much at the very heart of it. We call it the primordial tradition. So I've worked in schools all throughout the East Coast of New York, and I was bringing yoga and meditation. I'm trained in craniosacral therapy and a system like Feldenkrais. So I've been incorporating all these things for many years. So I went to make a film about the energy body Eastover Estate. I don't, it's like 6 years ago or something, might be more than that. And I went to meet Mantak Chia because he had all this teaching on the energy body. But the woman, Yingxing, who owns this place, had all of these, like 12 different Qigong masters there. She said, why don't you film everybody? And that's when it happened. That's when it began. And it's been this incredible journey. It has brought a level of healing, grace, joy to my life. And you know, my mission, along with all of you, is to do whatever, to use this film, that these 2 episodes I've created, because they're a great advertisement whenever I've shown them. And I'm actually going to be showing them in Taos and teaching a little Qigong on World Qigong Day. So, you know, I'm looking at ways to bring everyone together, to like come together to really get this out in the world. And use what I have, what I've done to do that. As Effie said, you know, there's this teacher here and teacher here and teacher here and teacher here, but we want to bring them all together. We want to bring people into a community, and we bring this out so that Qigong becomes as popular as yoga and integrates with yoga. Because I had a yoga teacher that was teaching. He would teach you some Qigong, he would teach you Iyengar yoga, he would teach you some Feldenkrais. And I think that's where we're at right now. And that's why the Global Transformation Project, and bringing all these different mind-body practices together, is so important. And that's why I'm a part of it.
Thank you, Sharon.
Beautiful.
We really appreciate that. One of the things first of all, I do have to tell you, because I do them all. I do Tai Chi, I do Qigong, I do yoga, I do Pilates, I do Feldenkrais, I do tons of these things.
Mhm.
And I also am a health researcher because of, you know, my car accident 20 years ago. And then I did Tai Chi and Pilates and yoga and meditation helped me so much. I wanted to know why. So I started doing health research. And I discovered that there is a commonality among all the mind-body activities in their mechanism, how they work and why they work. Why do they work so well on pain? Why do they work so well on calming people down? Why do they work so well on depression? Because it doesn't make any sense until you understand the biochemical response that your body exhibits based upon these simple breathing and exercise activities. And it is the magic 3. This is the research. What's the research shows? It's the magic 3. It's deep breathing, focused intention, and it can be focused on anything. It's just focused intention and slow movements. Anything that has slow movements, focused intention, and deep breathing, that is what provides the relaxation response that Herbert Benson talked about and did research on, that changes your biochemistry, that enables your body to become much healthier. So, and I know the work that you have done has just done tremendous good toward that aim. So thank you so much.
CJ, I was gonna remind everybody too that Sharon, she's fundraising to finish this incredible documentary called Quantum Chi, and you can go on Facebook and you can join her Quantum Chi group and then stay in touch, right, Sharon?
Yes, yes, and we're working on it now. There's some interesting things going on, and I'll be telling you all about them as they unfold with Quantum Chi and more.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now at this point, Siobhan, if you could open up the chat to everyone, and Sharon, if you could put the links to the things that you're doing so that people can find out more about it, by put that in chat so everyone can see it, that would be great. And everybody else, I'd like you to go to chat, introduce yourself, say where you're from, say anything that you would like to share with everyone. That would be really cool too. And finally, we are going to take a group picture. So while people are putting their information into chat, I'd also like everyone to turn on their video, and you can all go to gallery in order to see everyone. If you turn on gallery, if you're not used to it, there is if you're on a phone, I'm sorry, you can't do this, or an iPad, you can't do this. But if you're on a computer, you can go down to the bottom left corner where it says video and click on the little triangle thing next to video. And then you can choose video settings. And in there, you can change your video settings so you can see 49 people at the same time instead of just 25. And although you still can't see everybody that's on, because there's 57 of us on, you can see more people. So if everyone could turn their videos to so they can see 49 people, and everybody turn on their videos and while, you know, you can do the chat while we're doing this. We're going to give everyone a minute to get their videos on and to get themselves settled, and, you know, if you, so that you can all go. And then when I tell you, we're going to all smile and wave, just like that. We're going to smile and wave. Don't do it yet, because they'll be doing it for 5 minutes. So we're going to, because it's going to take everybody a few minutes to get caught up here, but everyone should turn on their video, because we have to wait for everyone to turn on their video. And I am now going to, I'm not the host. Could you please, Siobhan, turn off Kathy
I don't know why this is happening.
She just accidentally shared. So you just have to go up to view options and stop her share. And now you can turn off the share so nobody can share. And that way people won't accidentally do that. Because it's just an accident, I'm sure. I'm sure people aren't meaning to do that. So if you go to participants, Siobhan, and then choose, don't allow people to share. But the chat is open, and we want everyone to put their name and where they're from and anything they want to share. If you've got events that are that are in your area, other than, of course, World Tai Chi Day, because if you want to see World Tai Chi Day, what you do is you go to World Tai Chi Day, you click on events, you click on search, and there are, I just looked, we looked last week and there were only like 20 of them. And now there's a lot more. So there's many, many events in there. And again, if you are having trouble, getting them in there, Bill's going to work tomorrow. He's going to work on getting everybody in there who has made an account but doesn't have rights yet. He's going to give all those people rights. And then if you still have problems, then you can contact me and I can help you with that. So we are still looking for more people to put their videos on. So
okay, Annette, Lance, Samia, Connie, Ebenezer, Fatma, Jamie, Mo, James, Dora, Aleph, Piers. If you guys can turn on your video. Yeah. And I don't know if Dr. Cho's still there, but Dr. Cho was on our last month's program, and she started a program in public schools, Tai Chi in public schools and Qigong, and also in a detention center. And she's had some really beautiful results in the detention center with kids. And I just wanted to say hi to Wasim in Tunisia, right?
Okay, so we're going to give those people who are still not with their video on, we're going to give them 30 more seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and take the picture without them. I don't want to do that. I hate to leave people out, but it is 5 o'clock and we are going to take a short break. And then we're going to all come back, and I'm going to open it up and for people to raise their hands and tell us about them. So, okay. 30 seconds is up.
Hi, Bill.
Hey.
Hi, Wasim. Okay, so now if everyone could smile into the camera, look right at the camera, instead of looking down at the people, look right at the camera and put your hand up like you are waving. And then I am going to go ahead and take the picture. That's a picture number 1. I'm going to take another one just in case. Okay, so we've got, so thank you so much for taking part in that. And now if you want, you can start putting your hand up. I saw someone already did that. Go ahead and put your hand back up. And so you can start putting your hand up. We're going to take a 2-minute break. And during that break, Siobhan is going to share the PowerPoint, right, Siobhan?
Yes, I'm doing it right now, Miss Rhodes.
And of course, we are going to talk about we need to talk a little bit about donations. This is a donation-based event. We cannot put on these events unless we get donations. So we're going to, what we're going to do is we are going to ask you all to please make a donation. You can make a donation in one of two ways. You can go to this website, which I'm going to put into the chat, or nope, you went too fast. Could you go back so we could see that website again, Siobhan?
Okay, now you're asking me for an advanced,
just hit the up arrow.
Give me
Hit
a
the up
second.
arrow.
We'll come back. Hold on.
All right.
Hold
Well,
on.
also, you can go to
Was that it?
you can go to globaltransformationproject.org, and you'll see the tax deductible donation button. I put it right up near the top, CJ.
All right. So we'll have people do that.
Right
Go to
here.
Global Transformation, or
We'll put it
or
in
if you-
chat, CJ.
Yes, there it is. If you don't want to pay by automatically online, if you want to send a check, then you can also click on that other website, which will give us I'll put it into chat later. I'll give you the website that you can go to. It gives you the address that you can, if you want to, send a check. I know you're all younger, so you don't do checks, but there are still a lot of people in the world who do checks. And so if you want to send a check, there is a place where you can send the check rather than just do it online.
Also, I just wanted to mention too, anybody that, is in a position where you can donate on a monthly basis. And one thing I just want everybody to know is everything we've done on World Tai Chi and Qigong Day and in the Global Transformation Project, it's all a volunteer labor of love by a lot of people, but there are expenses. We have to pay for the website. We have to pay for the mailing list. All the prices on all these things goes up and up and up and gets more and more complicated. So if you donate, don't feel like it's gonna, put anybody on a beach having a martini or anything like that, because all of us are donating all of our time. It's a pure donation effort. Any funding that you donate will go to the nuts and bolts that make what we're doing possible.
And it's tax deductible. Did we mention that?
No, we didn't, but we should. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So any money that you give us will indeed go is 100% tax deductible. We do it. Usually we send out our notices twice a year. We send out one in July for all the ones that we got between January 1st and June 30th. And then we send another one in January for all the ones that we got between July and December. So so you'll get an IRS approved letter that says, thank you for your contribution of X dollars. We are a nonprofit. This is fully 100% tax deductible. So we certainly hope that you do that. I also want to mention that we do have a couple more of these coming up every month. It's the first Sunday. Is it first Sunday of every month.
Except for September, CJ.
Okay, except for September. It's the first Sunday of every month. And of course, I need to say, Siobhan is the main person. She has been doing yeoman's job making the back end of this happen, because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do it. And so able to do much. So I have to say that Siobhan is the man. She is the one who's making everything happen. I've got to put her at the top of my pedestal in terms of help.
CJ, you're too kind. I just hope everyone appreciates. We're trying to get the best of the best to come and speak with us. You met Mohammed today from Egypt, who's just so inspiring, and Sharon, who is a filmmaker, and so much more. We've had Dr. Roger Nelson with us, Dr. Jeffrey Dunn. We've had Heart Math with us. I feel like I'm PBS right now, but in order to continue having great speakers and producing a wonderful program, we really depend on the donations. So thank you everybody who has donated so far, but remember, tax deductible. Thank you, CJ.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to add to what Siobhan said is these scientists that we're having on, these people are doing the most important research in the history of science on consciousness and mind-body effects and all these things. These are world-altering scientists, and they're not getting enough attention in the mass media because the mass media is kind of locked in this old new Newtonian way, this physicality way of looking at the world. So they don't bring on these scientists, and these are the leading scientists. So this monthly program that we're bringing on, if you haven't seen the program, go to globaltransformationproject.org, and you can see the first 3 installments of the monthly program. And then we'll have, you know, programs like this up on there as well. And start watching those on a monthly basis, because that has massively expanded my own personal practice of Tai Chi Qigong meditation, you know, these mind-body practices, because when you know the science validates it, it really gives you a lot of validation. And I can speak about it in my classes, and it really helps people grasp it, you know, from a scientific view. So, you know, I know a lot of times mind-body teachers go, well, I know it works, I don't need to know the science. But I'll tell you what, it changed my practice by knowing the science and talking to these scientists, and then being able to share that with the public, you know, through whatever institutions or, you know, vehicles we have for communication. So I really highly recommend people start watching these programs, because it's just a free public service, but these people are the top scientists in the world. So, yeah.
Okay. So at this point, I would like you all to start putting up your hands. You go down to record. There should be a thing that says reactions. You click on the reaction.
I was going to mention if Ariel Betty is on it. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, if we could bring Ariel on, because I know he's up pretty late. So anybody that's up late, if you could, you know, send a note to Siobhan or whatever, or CJ, and let them know, you know, you're up late. And so then we can get you in first.
Okay, Ariel, great. Could you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Do you
Hey,
hear
Ariel.
me? Hello, everyone. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Ariel. So tell us a little bit about your plans for
Well,
World Tai Chi Day.
let me introduce Ariel just for a second. Ariel, he started World Tai Chi Day in Tunisia, but that's not his home. His homeland is in Africa also, and so he became like a Pan-African organizer for World Tai Chi Day, and he inspired a whole bunch of different events in different countries in Africa. And so you've been a real inspiration for me, Ariel. So take it away.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Same for me. So hello, everyone. Okay, thank you first for all the speakers, and also for all the participants. So what is our story with the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day? First context, as Bill did mention, I'm from Cameroon, so in Central Africa. And I've been in Tunisia since since a decade. And when I came actually in Tunisia, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, and Reiki, and all this stuff weren't well known, okay, back then. So Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, meditation sounded kind of strange. And I saw a need to share, okay, these wonders, okay, all the work about energy, about mindset, personal development, because I'm highly involved in the exploration of the human potential. And finally, so we started with a friend of mine, Mohamed Gariani, who put me in touch. Actually, because I was working also with the Tunisian Kung Fu Federations as an advisor. I was also working in American school and with a couple of embassies. And he talked to me about the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day and say, okay, you know what, Ariel, what do you think if we do connect with Bill Douglas and start the world and organize the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day in Tunisia, because I was already involved about developing Tai Chi and Qigong in Tunisia, but it wasn't quite well known. And we decided to connect with Bill Douglas and with Angela and to start the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day in Tunisia. I think it was in 2010 or 2011. I don't quite remember because it has been a long road. And for the first event, we had something like 50 people coming. And 1 year later, we had something like 100 people. And year after year, we had more and more people. until the point where we decided to invite Bill, Angela, and also my really, really good friend, Nicolas Marisic, in Tunisia, in order to organize a global training for Tai Chi and Qigong instructor. It was a really, really wonderful event, and it had a lot of impact in many people's life. Because, for example, if you see Tai Chi and Qigong is quite well known now in Tunisia, so we give seminars, we give workshops, we work with embassies, we work also with kids, schools, and a lot of different organizations. And now we have something like 22 among around 22 Tai Chi and Qigong instructors. By June of this year, we'll have something like 10 or 12 more Tai Chi and Qigong practitioners. So it's now quite well known. People know about that. People ask for it. And also in different other countries, like in Ivory Coast with Master Mamadou, in Cameroon as well, with where I come from, in Nigeria, in Senegal, in places like South Africa, places also like Mali. So we have a lot of different other countries who want to join the World Tai Chi and Qigong Day event, and also Algeria. So hopefully this year we'll have some countries like Morocco, Libya, who will join us to participate to this global event. And we are highly interested about also the mind and body connection, because it's really, it's all about the same energy, because we all have the same breath, we have the same potential, and we can do a lot of great things together. So I bought our group. So I consider our group as a family, as Bill always say, one world, one breath, and we have all that in common, that we are all connected. So in our group, we have some key values. Okay, the first is inclusivity, understanding, sharing, because, and that's why I also want to tell all of you, thank you so much for your generosity, because of everything you are doing. The world gets to be a better place. Truly, the world truly gets to be a better place, because we can do so much with understanding what energy is, and also with the level of commitment we have, and beyond what we have to do, whether we are parents, kids, teacher, and whatever, the time you give to serve others, it's really, really a blessing for everyone. So thank you again, Bill, Angela, CJ, and all of you guys, all of you, you are doing a great job. And also to my friend, Mohammed.
Yeah, Ariel, I wanted to mention one of the African countries that you influenced, it was Algeria.
Yes,
somebody
exactly.
from Algeria, yeah, they held an event, and we didn't even know that they were holding it. And then we saw news coverage of it on China's CGTN network, and they have like hundreds of millions of viewers.
Exactly.
And, so look at what you did. I mean, through you influencing them, then they influenced, they exposed 100 million people to this. It was really incredible.
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful. And I think this year we have much more people. We have much more people now.
The other thing, Mohammed, what we were adding to what you were saying about how we changed the planet, that's one of the things that's been so exhilarating about talking to all these scientists once a month on this monthly program that we have. And we hope everybody will get your students and contacts to all start watching this program, because it'll really change the way they look at things. Because what you realize when you watch the science, and this is all solid science, it's just that you don't see it on TV. But what we find is every time we go into this meditative state, whether it's Tai Chi flow or Qigong flow or yoga or meditation or mindfulness, we're actually contributing to a positive change in the whole planet. This isn't like mystical philosophy. This is hard science. Our consciousness, when we go into these coherent states, is adding to the coherence of the entire planet's consciousness, and that's just extraordinary. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ariel. That is fabulous. Up next, we're going to be hearing from Clint Pierman. So, Clint, you want to come on and tell us more about your programs and how you got involved in all this?
And unmute. Great.
Hi, Clint.
Yes. I don't know how I can go after Ariel. That was a great story there. So I'm Dr. Clint Pierman. I was a brain injury specialist, education and training specialist for the U.S. Department of Defense from 2012 until 2020 when COVID hit. When COVID hit and we all got quarantined, I tried to go into retirement and just teach Tai Chi while in retirement. I've been doing Tai Chi since 2006. And then when the US government found out that Dr. Pierman is also a Tai Chi instructor, they somehow talked me back in to coming back into the hospital I was at, which is a Southern California military hospital, to develop or to be the Tai Chi instructor for their mental health department. I love what Bill constantly talks about, the science for Tai Chi. And as a person that works in a clinical setting with patients involved in various mental and behavioral health issues, everything I have to do has to be reinforced or confirmed with research science. So this is a great point because there is as Bill constantly reminds us, there's a ton of science out there. My dissertation for my doctorate was actually a research study to identify the key considerations for building workplace health and wellness programs based on Tai Chi, not workplace health and wellness programs that used Tai Chi, but to design an entire new model for workplace health and wellness programs based solely on the regular routine practice of Tai Chi in the workplace. I now run a tribe of some 500 Tai Chi enthusiasts here in the Southern California area. We are doing a World Tai Chi Day in the Oceanside, California, of which I am also the Tai Chi instructor for the city of Oceanside. I run their community-based Tai Chi program for the senior citizen center and the parks and recreation. So I'm excited to be part of what we're doing here. And I must say, this is an amazing opportunity to attempt to change the entire world, because Tai Chi actually has the capability to be that mechanism. Once we find a way to put it together in the right format, that can literally change the health and wellness of the entire world. And I hope to be part of that as I build these various government-related Tai Chi programs based solely on the science. So thank you for having me.
That's
Bill,
beautiful.
we spoke a couple of weeks ago. I'm the guy that I know I'm supposed to have sent something to, I think, CJ, to get the stuff done for building or putting up our World Tai Chi Day. And I should be able to get to that by the end of today.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Clint. And the other thing too, with all the stuff that you're doing with the government, it would be great to get your photo and bio up on the globaltransformationproject.org with all the scientists and mind-body professionals and everything, because that would add even more street cred to our attempt to get this into public education. Because we think if we can get kids at the youngest possible age, then so many of them won't even end up in hospital programs. They'll just end up in yoga classes and Tai Chi classes, because they won't be dealing with chronic health issues. They'll get out of school and they'll want more of this. You know what I mean? So they'll just flow right into classes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Clint. We really, it's so great to hear all about that. I have to bring on now one of my favorite people in the world and a personal friend. She has come to the symposium a couple of times and done fabulous workshops. She runs a blog, a worldwide blog that has made basically a whole lot of people who never heard of Tai Chi to know about it. She published a series of articles about the three sister festivals, which was the Tai Chi Gala and the Tai Chi Park and the symposium, which all came out of Master Joe Samwa's Tai Chi Farm. And so I am so pleased to introduce to you one of the top lineage holders of Chen style and a fabulous swords person, and she's just one of the greatest people. I love her workshops. So Violet, please tell us about everything that's going on with you.
CJ, when you first was talking, it was like, what is she talking about? And then you talk about Chen styles. Okay, she's talking about me. And thank you for a very, very kind introduction. And I really appreciate this. And I'm a Tai Chi practitioner as well as instructor. I have held many World Tai Chi Day celebrations in St. Louis before, and now I'm in Las Vegas. I'm working with Kat and Reyes, and she has been doing a fabulous job in Las Vegas, and we are trying to boost the attendance in Las Vegas. And what I like to say one thing to you all is I'm working on a project right now, and which I'm going to do a survey as far as how Tai Chi and Qigong being portrayed in media. I think this is very, very important. We have to do a collective work and then to find out exactly what's wrong and what can we do better, because we got a lot of great stories here, and we just heard a couple of the folks. Sorry, because I was very busy. I just joined not too long ago, so I only heard the two great stories, and I think we need to get these stories out and to the world, and not just on my website, and then we have to get into the mainstream media. So I'm doing a survey, and so hopefully later on, I will send it out and to CJ, and then send it. Hope you can all.
Violet?
Yes.
Violet, one thing I wanted to mention is, in any of your outreach on that, at worldtaichiday.org, under teachers and schools and events, we have organizing kits to organize events, but we also have media kits. And so what we've done is we have links to all the media all over the world, local media, national, international media. And so anybody can go there through worldtaichiday.org, and they can click on the media kits, and then they can get contacts for any media in their area or in their nation or whatever. And so we've been doing that for 20 years. People can go there. We walk people through how to get media attention, and that's how a lot of these groups that you heard about before got media attention, is going through that at worldtaichiday.org.
Well, excellent. I have used your great resources for my events when I was hosting the celebration, and but now I know there are actually more I can use, and I will go there, and in case I lost, then I let you know.
Yeah, and then of course we have all the medical research too. So then when people use the media source at worldtaichiday.org, then they have the medical research that they can send to the media. Yeah.
Excellent. And you have done so much work, all these years, and I have nothing but respect for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Violet Lee. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody needs to go read her articles. Violet's done incredible Tai Chi journalism, definitely.
It is. It's absolutely fabulous. She has done a phenomenal job on making, and finding out what the best events and the best activities and the best things are and writing about them. Next, I'm going to be introducing Philip Lay or Lai. I'm not really sure which way to pronounce it. So Philip, do you want to tell us more about whatever it is you want to share?
Give me 1 second to put him on video. Please forgive me. I'm trying to get there.
Oh,
that's okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Oh, there you are. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Philip Lai. I born in Hong Kong, and I raised up in there for 22 years, and then I come to Canada, from 1977, and I do Qigong and Kung Fu and Tai Chi when I was a kid. When I come to Canada, I love to see a lot of people. They teach Tai Chi Qigong, and such as Dr. Chow, such as Yan Xin, and also Master He. So I'm very appreciate those pioneers. They come to North America to explore and promote the Tai Chi and Qigong. I'm very appreciate them. I learned some Qigong from Dr. Chow in around 1995, 98. And then after that, I put all the what I learned. I followed the Dr. Chow step. Put all together as a Philip Lai Qigong technique or school. So, and I'm very appreciate Bill. You do the good job for promote the Tai Chi and Qigong Day, and you have a beautiful website and have a beautiful people to work with you, and a lot of very convenient skill you can use for those material to share with the people. And I'm happy to hear about Bill talking about how you provide a lot of material to help us to promote the Tai Chi and Qigong. And I'm very appreciative. I'm going to use that to help myself, And I'm very happy to use my skill to help a lot of people, So I have a lot. I love to use the energy, I like to do Tai Chi. I especially the simple one, just such a 8 form and 24 form, and then easy to work with your intention, work with your breath, and work with the energy, So I love to use that technique. But my passion is I use the energy to help the people to improve their health, happiness, and take in charge of their destiny. Energy can do everything. They can promote and activate the people's potential to do almost everything. Even though the wealth, the health, the emotion, happiness. Even though they want to for their destination. Destiny. So I'm very appreciate that I have a lot of experience to use the energy and all the things I learned to help the people to activate their miracle healing ability. I have a lot of people with the stage 4 cancer, fibromyalgia, severe situation, after stroke, they have the paralyzed, and then they can, live independently. So I'm very happy, I have this kind of skill to help people. So I'm very appreciate and thank you everybody, to promote this kind of thing. And for me right now, I need more people to provide me some help, to promote and work together, especially in Canada, So we work together, set up a federation, for whole Canada, to promote the thing. It will be very, very convenient for everybody, So, and also I know that a lot of people like Lama Tempera, he do a lot of work in the promotion of the Qigong, So I hope that we can work together in future to promote it to everybody, you know. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much. We
That's
do
beautiful.
appreciate
Philip,
it.
I just wanted to mention really quick. I do believe there is a Canadian Tai Chi Federation. So if you haven't already, you might try to connect with them too. Yeah.
Okay. Bill has asked us to invite Bev to come up next. Bev Abella, since she's in Australia and has her time is probably a whole different time frame. So
Yes,
Bev, if you could
starting the day.
unmute and go ahead and share with us what's going on there in Australia.
I just wanted to give a quick intro to Bev. Bev invited us over. I mentioned earlier, you know, Bev, when you had us over for the World Tai Chi Day event, and it was in that beautiful, it was on Aboriginal sacred land, that park. And it was just all inclusive of the mind body practices. And it opened with an Aboriginal dance. I remember that. And Bev, when Bev first started organizing in Perth, Australia, which is the gorgeous place, she sent us a video of their event. And she was playing John Lennon's Imagine, and she was doing Tai Chi all by herself on the beach in the park. And then as John Lennon started singing, you know, imagine all the people living life as one by one, people started, it was a flash mob. So if you go to YouTube and you put in Perth, Australia, World Tai Chi Day flash mob, you'll get the video. And then as John Lennon's singing this song of people coming together, more and more people are coming in and joining her Tai Chi flash mob, and it's really cool, Bev. So anyway, I want to tell everybody about that.
Thank you. Am I on unmute? I think I'm unmuted.
No, you're unmuted. You go ahead. Go ahead.
good.
We can hear you.
Yeah, it's 5 in the morning here, so I've got matchsticks holding my eyes open. I've had a hard weekend. I've been to a music festival, and I've had an 18th birthday party at my house. So I'm
Bev's
feeling
a
a bit
musician, by
weary.
the way, too. Bev's a musician, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to congratulate everybody for all the work they're doing all around the world and really promoting Tai Chi and Qigong. Bill and I have been doing this for about 20 years now, I think we have, Bill. And
Yeah, time flies.
And people still talk about your visit. You know, my students still talk about your visit. So
I think about it all the time.
It was wonderful. And I just wanted to, I don't have any great story like all the wonderful Ariel and Sharon and all of those wonderful things that they do. I just teach one student at a time, and you know, that's all I can do. And we've had thousands of people. Actually, we're celebrating 20 years this year of Tai Chi at the beach. So, and I'm also celebrating 50 years in martial arts. So it's quite a year for me. So we're going to reprise the old flash mob this year and surprise some people in a very busy place. And it's going to be good fun. So I just want to wish everybody a wonderful World Tai Chi Day and Qigong, and just one student at a time, one world, one breath.
Can't wait to see your video. Can't wait to see your video of the flash mob.
We'll send it to you. Don't you worry.
All right. Thank you so much, Bev. Next, we're going to have Isabella Zayas. And so, Isabella, do you want to go ahead and tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel Zayas, and I'm in Oakland, California. I have known Dr. Effie Chow for 19 years. It started, I met her in 2004 and learned Chow Qigong. I helped her coordinate the 8th World Congress of Qigong in 2005 in San Francisco. And I became a student and a volunteer. I worked with her for many years. And then 10 years later, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And Dr. Chow came back into my life and she said, now more than ever, you need to implement, you know, your Qigong practice with the Western medicine And I began seeing her then as a client. And when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, I was told that it was not a matter of if that I would die, but when. I was given a 2-year prognosis. That was in 2014. And Dr. Chow was the first person who made me understand that it was possible to live and to heal an incurable illness. And so I owe my life to her. I have since then I've taught Chao Qigong. I'm certified in Shaolin Wellness Qigong. I have a master's in intuition medicine, and I'm a writer. And I have written a book that will be published this year. So I'm about to be an author. That Dr. Chow has been my biggest promoter and encourager throughout these years, as I have been in the labor of love of writing a book while coming off of treatment for cancer and trying to stay alive. And what she would love to know now that she's a few things that made Sharon's video made me move to tears, because and I don't actually move to tears very often. But hearing her voice and seeing her like that, she means so much to me, Dr. Chow. And there's 2 things she would be so delighted to hear today. And I know she's hearing them, but one was just getting the almost final edit into my editor of the book, which, by the way, Dr. Chow is featured greatly in this book. And a lot of her wisdom is going to be carried on to everyone who reads the book. And the book promotes Qigong as the primary method of my healing. So hopefully it will be introducing Qigong to a really large audience. And so anyway, she would be so delighted to know that I have a plan to publish this year. And secondly, that I am 100% cancer-free. I mean, she has been there for lots of clean PET scans and lots of things along the way and lots of bumps along the way. And there's now a new test out there that tests the level of the DNA of your cancer. And, my last few tests have been 0. So that's all excellent news. I fully expect it to stay that way. And my book is about healing from the impossible and being okay in the now, regardless of circumstance. So that is something that I really wish she were here to read the things I said about her. I mean, if she could only know that I did not forget a single word that she said to me. And she would be so delighted. She would be so delighted to see the impact that she's had on someone at that level that could articulate it and share it with the world. And thankfully, I'm a writer. I've always been a writer, even though in my past life prior to cancer, I ran large software engineering programs at tech companies. But writing has always been my passion, and I get to finally be in this world as a writer. And I also had the great honor of being with Dr. Chow at her bedside when she passed and ushering her into her next dimension. And so I can officially say that she taught me not only how to live well, but how to die well. And that is, she is forever one of the most important people in my life. And I'm part of a team that wants to carry forward Chao Qigong. And with Anne Colichitas and others, and Charlene and others, and there's a core group of them that are working on the Congress. I have unfortunately not helped them with the Congress yet because I've been so heads down in the editing and plans and stuff like that. But they do know that I have every intention of carrying forward Chao Qigong in some way or another, teaching it, sharing her classes, etc. And I look so forward to doing that. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Isabella. That is an incredible story. And do you have a publisher for your book already? Do you know who's publishing it?
My plan is to self-publish, although I do have it, and that has sort of how shall we say, like, made me and that could change my plan. But I had always intended to self-publish because I want it to be published this year, and I know that going down another route could take quite a few.
Okay, well, contact me. I own a publishing company and so there's this whole thing. It's a little different than a regular publishing company, but so if you can contact me, we'll have to talk.
Thank you.
We'll have to talk.
I would love to talk about it. Thank you.
What's the title of it again, Isabel?
So the working title is Cosmic Grace.
Cosmic Grace.
Yeah, Cosmic Grace, and I don't have the subtitle yet, but I should be having that in the next month or so. And yes, Anne posted this. I
was just going to say, Anne just posted the podcast link for the podcast.
Yes,
and Effie Chow.
We won a Webby honoree award for this podcast, and it's me and Dr.
Very nice.
Just so you all know, I used to be called Lisa. I know this is what happens when you change your name. You're a little older. I used to be called Lisa, but I've gone back to my birth name, which is Isabel. And I do go by Isa as well, which is just Lisa without an L. So anyway, you'll see Lisa in those materials.
Well, I went from Christine to Chris to CJ, so you know, okay. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Okay, we have a couple more people left, and we don't have a whole lot of time, so I am going to be moving things along. I'd like to introduce next, and I'm never going to be able to pronounce his name, so I'm going to do my best. Kyoto. Oh, it just disappeared, and now I can't even see him. So,
I just put him on spotlight. And he needs
you can help us.
Got it. Gatso.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. So could you unmute?
Yeah.
So could you pronounce your name so everyone knows exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced? And please share with us what you'd like to tell us about.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. My name is Khoto Mazitela. I am from South Africa. I live in Hebron in South Africa. So I met Tai Chi from Sister Rutendongar. She's a researcher and she's an athlete. She's a gold medalist. Yes, by the name Rutendongar from the Wushu Federation. That's where I met Tai Chi. I met Tai Chi from that loving sister. I love Sudhiri very much. I was very sick by that time, like very depressed, emotionally, physically, everything like wasn't working for me. So I met her on Women's Day in town, somewhere in Pretoria. She was conducting a class, and I made myself available. I went there, and ever since I've been given that, oh, it's priceless. I don't even know what to say, but that's how I met Tai Chi, everyone. In 2016, it was 2016 years. So as I was doing Tai Chi, I was traveling around, going to Joburg, because I live in Hebron, a very disadvantaged place, yes. So I kept going there. And as it was changing my life, but how everything was unfolding, how I was feeling, how I found myself interacting with everyone and starting to deal with the pains and the aches that I was experiencing as an individual. I haven't been raised in a very dysfunctional family, you know. In a gassy place, you call it, you know, the loction. It's tough, it's tough. So I carried the tool of Tai Chi, I carried it home to my body. So I kept practicing Tai Chi by myself, going to the class with other Tai Chi enthusiasts there in the academy in Wushu. So we formed a group. We do a group therapy session with Sister Ritendo. So since from 2016, 2017, 2018, and then doing there, I fell in love with learning more. So I love to judge. I learned more about Taolo also, together with Kung Fu. That's what we found there. So as I was also learning Tai Chi myself, I introduced my friends to learning Tai Chi also, because I couldn't explain it. I felt that it's something that I shouldn't explain to people, should experience it so that they can understand it to the core. So in 2019, I decided to go into the schools and do a survey, conduct a survey about this, actually how it really would change other people, the way it was affecting my life, it was changing it. So I took my time with a friend, Jeanette and Poloho. We went to Untlamete Primary School, is in Hebron. We conducted a 6 months, 6 months period of time with them, whereby we do Tai Chi in the morning before the children would go to class, like from 7 to 8, between 40 minutes, 30 minutes, we'd conduct it. And then after, they'd be off to class. And then along life orientation, we were given also a time to come and do Kung Fu with the children. Oh yes, we did it very beautifully with them throughout that 6 months, and then COVID hit. Yes, COVID hit, and oh, it was tough. It was tough, you know, the quarantine, not having to meet, you know, that it crushed me, truly. It crushed me, it crushed my spirit. But I kept on doing Tai Chi on my own, and with the few friends that I had. So ever since that experience of mine from 2019, and then the COVID come, everything that it kind of like started going slow and slow and slow. But I always had a burn inside me, because I always do my practice. So this burn that's burning me inside, it's saying, because why you keep sleeping when you know that you have to be helping children out there, you know? Because what the ages that we conducted there, it was in grade 1, the whole class of grade 1s, the grade 2s. We did also grade 7s. So as I'm speaking, the grade 7s of that year, they're in grade 11, and the grade 3s are in grade 7, I think. Yes, they are. And we have a proof. Yes, we conducted that. All the children that we were teaching Tai Chi at that time, they are different from other children. They develop different from the other children. They excelled more. They started to have more confidence, because here in Hebron, we're in the rural areas where poverty is, oh my goodness, I can't even talk about it. So the time that COVID came, and then we decided, you know what, me and my team, since we saw the challenges that we faced as we were presenting Tai Chi to the community, Sakasi, strange, they don't understand. We saw that it was also necessary for us to have a farm, so that we can help feed the people that we bring Tai Chi to. Because we know that as energy is energy, we're moving, we're transferring energy from one form to another. So yes, so the most difficult thing was the hunger.
Thank you
So-
so much.
Thank you so much. That was
Kyoto.
very, very helpful.
Yes,
And I'm sure people are really appreciate of your story.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to mention real quick, Kyoto, if you can make sure that you email me through worldtaichiday.org or globaltransformationproject.org, because I want to get your story about what you're doing in education up on the globaltransformationproject.org website, along with your research, CJ, about the test scores going up. This is stuff that we need to have up there.
So, Bill, I know you had some things that you wanted to say in our final few minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody, it's just been a real beautiful experience hanging out with everybody. Yeah, I hope we can do this every year. This would be awesome. And because, like everybody said, as we go through this program, it's like we're all inspiring each other. Even though we know the value of these mind-body practices, it's so easy to lose, faith or whatever in the awareness of how profound these tools are for the world. And so, it's like, having us able to encourage each other. There's years when we haven't had very big events in Kansas City, and then we see something like Mohammed's done in Egypt, or we see something like, Bev or Ariel's done in Australia and Africa, and and then it lifts us up, and then the next year we may have another great event. And so it's like we're all it's like a quantum experience where we're all feeding and supporting each other. And again, one of the things that all this has led to, and a lot of the people here were integral in that, is the realization, looking at the science. And when you look at all the science, and if anybody, I don't think anybody's looked at all the science that I'm talking about, because it took me 40 years to collect all this science. And what I did was I put it into this new second edition, The Gospel of Science book. So if you look for new second edition, The Gospel of Science book, and get this book, and I've meticulously endnoted the research that I'm referring to in the book, so that you can go to the science, go to the articles, go to the data, and you can see that this is real. And when you grasp how the breadth of this science on Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga and meditation and mindfulness, and see how interconnected these things are and the potential of all these things, you realize very quickly that if we can get this to kids in their formative years, those formative years ended around 7, but then, continuing it on through public education, kindergarten through 12th grade, it would have a planetary transforming effect, not only in saving the planet trillions of dollars every year in saved health costs, but also in social costs. Like many teachers, including Bev in Australia, we've taught in prisons, maximum security prisons. And what prisons find when they start using mind body is it reduces the return rate for prisoners. So if we were giving this to kids before they get sick, before they end up in prison, we would be saving just endless trillions of dollars around the planet. And we can do this. We can get this United Nations resolution to advocate to public educators all around the planet, the science that we've collected, and you can see it at globaltransformationproject.org. Because in 2015, the United Nations General Assembly passed the International Day of Yoga resolution to create the International Day of Yoga, which is very similar to the World Tai Chi Day we created years before. And it passed with a historically large number of co-sponsors. It had 177 co-sponsoring nations that believed that for world health and world well-being, we should have an International Day of Yoga. So there's no reason why we can't get these nations to co-sponsor a resolution for the a UN resolution to advocate mind-body education as a core part of kindergarten through 12th grade for public education worldwide. It wouldn't be mandatory for any country or any school or any student. There would always be an opt-out, a study hall or a PE course or whatever. But when they see the science, they're going to want to get this in there. And it would just transform the planet, and it would cost very little money. And the reason, one of the things that led us to know that that we could do this is because organizing World Tai Chi Day over these 23 years, we realized there are mind-body teachers in every major city in every country around the world. It's like it's all set, and all it needs to do is just be plugged in, and this software program will start changing consciousness of over 1 billion public school students around the world. And we could literally change the future of humanity. It's like everything is in place. The science is behind us. Mind-body practitioners are everywhere around the planet. And we just feel like all the mind-body teachers, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, mindfulness, and meditation, who've put so many years into their cultivating their arts and their teaching, are a vastly underutilized resource. And we should all be being hired by our local public school system. I'm not saying we don't keep doing our adult classes and all the other classes we do, but we create a mind-body practice, a relaxation stress management approach to our mind-body, to our Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, mindfulness, meditation. And we make it applicable for students from all different ages. And we could get employed in addition to our regular classes with our public education system and start sharing this wisdom with the entire planet through the public education system. And it would just be when you look at the science, not only would it change things on a physical level, creating smart students with higher IQs and greater immunity and all these kind of things, but the consciousness doesn't stop at the brain. So the scientists that we've been bringing on are showing us that this changes the consciousness of the whole planet, and it creates a more empathetic and compassionate field of consciousness for the whole planet. And this is all science driven. This isn't mystical stuff I'm talking about. And so please go to globaltransformationproject.org and worldtaichiday.org, sign the petition and get involved and help us start spreading this to create this global coalition.
I'm sure they will, Bill, and thank you so much. I just have a couple more things to mention before we break for today. First is the next monthly thing is going to be May 7th, and that is going to be with Mohammed. So Mohammed Asa, who you saw today. But there are also a couple of other events that are coming up that I want to let you know about. One is the International Medical Tai Chi and Qigong Association conference, which is going to be held in Kansas City, Bill Douglas's hometown, at the University of Kansas Medical Center. That's going to be October 20th to 22nd. And then there's also two other events, and I'm putting the links to those two events in the certainly somebody said let's have an event for Effie Chow every year. Well, that is the World Congress, and there is going to be a World Congress. So that is going to be you can find it in the Akamai University World Congress.html. So it's going to be September 30th to October 2nd. Although they might still change the date. So don't put your plane tickets in yet, but certainly that's going to be a great event. But then the other one I want to let you know about is Master Joe Sumwa's birthday party and Tai Chi celebration, which has just been, and Tai Chi festival, which has been going on for 20 years. Again, one of the three sister events that came out of Tai Chi Farm, which was a big event back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The only one remaining, because Tai Chi, Loretta hasn't done Tai Chi Gala in a while, and I couldn't do the symposium this year because I'm helping with the Tai Chi Park, the Tai Chi Festival at Tai Chi Park. Bruce LaCaruba, who usually runs that event, is unfortunately not able to run it right now. We're hoping he's going to recuperate enough to be able to be there for the event in July. That's July 15th and 16th. It's going to be a fabulous event. We found a wonderful new venue because we can't go to Bruce's house, but it's very close. It's in Warwick, New York, which is where the original Tai Chi Farm was. It is going to be a fabulous event, and so registrations won't be open till May, but we did finally post just today. As a matter of fact, we posted the paper registration form if you want to do the paper registration form, and so please feel free to join us at that event, which is also, like all of these, a fabulous event. So I have to, Siobhan, could you put me and Bill and you, all three of us up? So we all just want to thank all of you for coming. It has been a very, very wonderful event. I think all of you hopefully enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed all the people who shared their information. And close one final thing. If you want to remember what was in chat, you can click on the little 3 dots at the bottom of chat. And you click on the 3 dots and then say save the chat, and it'll save it to your hard drive under your My Documents Zoom folder. And then it'll have a folder with the date, and then it'll have a thing that says save to chat. And that will give you all of the links and all of the names and everything that was in the chat. So Siobhan, any final words to say goodbye?
Well, thank you, CJ. I'll make it very short. I just hope that everybody will visit our website, www.globaltransformationproject.org. Sign the petition. It's not going to cost you anything. Please join our movement. If Bill and Angela were so successful in creating World Tai Chi and Qigong Day, just think if we can get mindfulness programs, not just Tai Chi and Qigong, but all mindfulness programs into school education, just think what a great world this will be. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Siobhan. And I have to thank Violet Lee. I cannot believe, Violet, that I completely forgot about the Osher Center conference in September, which I am hoping to present at, because I've submitted a paper, my economics of integrative healthcare paper. So Violet put that into the link. So please go sign up for that if you're interested in the academic research of all of the medical research of all of the wonderful benefits of Tai Chi. It's called the Science of Tai Chi. That's the theme for the Osher Center. It's going to be held. The Osher Center is a combination of and I'm not going to remember the name of the hospital, Brigham Women's Hospital, and what is it?
Brigham
Young Women.
Yeah, and Harvard Medical School. So the Harvard Medical School and the hospital got together, and they're co-sponsors of the Osher Center. The Osher Center is going to be sponsoring the wonderful Science of Tai Chi.
One thing I wanted to mention while you're on that is if you go to globaltransformationproject.org, you can click on supporting scientists and educators and health. And right at the top is Dr. Peter Wayne, who's at the Osher Center. I think he's the director of research. And anyway, he's the author of the Harvard Medical School Guide to Tai Chi. And he was one of the early supporters of this United Nations resolution to get mind-body education into public education worldwide. So if you write anything on that, Violet, if you could include that Peter Wayne at Harvard was one of the first supporters of, and he speaks, he just spoke at an international Qigong conference recently. He speaks about how important it is that we get this stuff to kids at the earliest possible age. And so that's what this resolution will do.
So we are out of time. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your being here. Without you, we wouldn't have anything. Don't forget to donate if you can. That would be really helpful. And thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
And if anybody has any difficulty placing their event on the website, or if you just have general questions about how to create an event, please feel free to contact us. We'd love to help you out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
each other, there is no garden. You're the color of being born.